Guys, what's the most unattractive thing girls do that they think is attractive? Hate on other girls that have nothing to do with them. I dated a girl who always had something nasty to say about any girl within eyesight, got real old real quick. Act rude and entitled. Dumbing themselves down. It's never cute. Any sort of baby talk or calling me daddy. It makes my skin crawl. Nose rings in the middle of the nose. Being a know-it-all, male or female, is pretty unattractive. Talking about how certain features of guys are attractive while on a date with a guy who doesn't have those features. I won't tell you that your small boobs are a deal breaker, right? Call themselves tens. Women seem to do this thing where they act like not noticing me is hot, I guess. It's been 28 years, we can stop now.
Today I messed up by living in a dark bedroom for 6 years. The overhead fan in our bedroom uses one of those compact halogen light bulbs. 6 years ago the bulb burned out and got really dim, just barely a glow. I bought a replacement bulb, but when I put that one in it was also barely lighting up, so I realized the unit was bad. The fan still worked great. It literally is the best fan I've ever had because it moves a ton of air and is super quiet. The fan had also been a gift when we moved into our house. The unit cost over $400, so I didn't really want to replace it, even though our bedroom doesn't get much natural light, so it is pretty dark. So since then, over the years, my wife and I have had to make do with no overhead light. We open the windows during the day, and at night use a combination of bedside lamps and the bathroom light. It's never really as good of lighting as an overhead lamp, so I keep some flashlights up there for when we are cleaning or looking for something, etc. After 6 years of living in the dark, this winter I just decided I would replace the damn thing. But before I did, I decided to try one last time with another bulb because, however unlikely, it's possible both bulbs I had tried were bad. So I'm up there installing the new bulb, grab the remote, the fan has a remote, and as I'm turning the light on I realize the goddamn thing is dimmable. For 6 fucking years we lived with the inconvenience of no overhead light, and the whole time it was just because the damn thing was set to dim. Fuck me.
Okay Reddit. What are some clever questions asked by cops to get you in trouble? Do you know why I pulled you over? Would you like to incriminate yourself? Not really a question, but they'll casually mention going to get fingerprints or something in hopes that you'll say, okay, fine. It was me. I know a guy who fooled everyone. He wrecked his car and then tried to claim his car was stolen and the thief crashed it. He made it believable. I believed him. All our friends believed him. The cop had doubts and mentioned that he'd dust the inside of his car for prints. The guy buckled and admitted. I later asked why. Because he was going to get my fingerprints. I replied, well, no crap. It's your car. Of course your fingerprints are there. Do you know what the speed limit here is? No officer, I was driving much too fast to read those tiny signs. The most common technique is just to ask the same questions over and over and record the answers. Typically you don't respond the same way every time, and eventually, if you're trying to hide something, cracks will appear in your story. Better just to shut up.
What is your got caught in the act story? Caught after the fact. I was in my early teens when I discovered the joy of beating off. Then my mind was truly blown when I discovered I could beat it up in the shower. After the first week or so of just carelessly painting the walls of the shower with my baby batter, my dad comes into my room and says, if you're going to blow your nose in the shower, make sure it goes down the drain. I scratched my head and with a confused look I responded, I don't blow my nose in the shower. To which my dad responded, just make sure it goes down the drain.
Which legendary Reddit post/comment can you still not get over? The story of Jason in Hell is one of the saddest stories that I have read on the internet. If you guys don't know the story, Jason in Hell was a fellow Reddit user that posted a story regarding his wife's cheating with his neighbor on relationship advice. Relationship advice told him that he will be better off divorcing his wife than to deal with her. A few days later, he posts something on legal advice to see how he can secure custody of his 2 children during the divorce. His wife, named Brandy Worley, found the legal advice thread. The same day she found the Reddit posts, she kills both kids to spite her soon-to-be ex-husband. Brandy then calls 911, telling the operator that she stabbed herself and her 2 children because her husband was divorcing her. The call was recorded, with Brandy showing no remorse or emotion during the call. This whole situation was unfolding live on Reddit and 4chan. Brandy was given 120 years in prison, with the jury saying she doesn't regret her decision, not one bit.
What's a fun NSFW history fact? Women were being diagnosed with hysteria back in the day. The cure? Manual stimulation, aka doctors would finger women into finishing. When electricity became a normalized thing, the first item the medical field decided to create was the vibrator. The original ones are ridiculous. Mao had an STD that didn't have too many side effects, so when his doctor told him to take some medicine to get rid of it, he chose not to. Instead, he considered spreading his STD around to all the women he slept with as some kind of gift.
What is the thing that surprised you the most when you traveled to a country you had never been to before? Probably in Germany when I bought a beer in a convenience store and they offered to open it for me so I could enjoy it on my walk. New York is exactly as advertised. Everything I see on TV shows and movies are exactly the same. I've been to a lot of places but New York is the only one that is exactly my expectation. In Prague, when you open a camera in the street, it's like a force field. PPL automatically moves aside to not stand in the way.